everyone, welcome back to Becoming Dr. Andy. On today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I set my academic goals. If you have been this person who's been aiming for that 90% in biology, that 80% in maths, but you haven't been able to achieve it, today I'm going to be sharing with you how I set my academic goals in a way that I'm able to achieve them. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you step by step on how to set your academic goals. It doesn't matter what goal you have, this method works for each and every goal, even if it's not academic. If you are excited for this video, make sure that you click the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Let's say your goal is to get 90% in biology. That goal can sound very intimidating, especially if you haven't gotten marks close to that. So let's talk about how you can make this goal look more achievable. So when I set my goals, I use the acronym SMART. Think about it as SMART goals. The S stands for specific. The M stands for measurable. The A stands for achievable or attainable. The R stands for realistic or relevant. And the T stands for time bound. So when you set your goal, you need to make sure that you are as specific as possible. By using our example, I want to get 90% in biology. You need to be specific as to 90% in a test, 90% in an exam, 90% for the semester, or 90% for the whole year. So now you're going to make your statement as specific as possible. And the key is to write your goals down, so that you can always come back to them and you can hold yourself accountable. The second thing to your goal is, how will you know that you are achieving it or you have accomplished your goal? So if you have said that you would like to get 90% for biology at the end of this term or at the end of the semester, that's like a couple of weeks or a couple of months away. You need to know that you are on the right track before you reach that time period. You need to set yourself milestones that are going to lead you to your big goal. Let's look at this in a more practical way. If you want to get 90% in biology at the end of the term or the semester, it means that you need to get that much for your tests, for your assignments, and your exams. Now you'll be able to know whether you are achieving that goal by looking at your assignment, tests, and exam results. So now you need to get more practical when it comes to setting your goal. For example, you can say, I want to get a 90% for my test 1, 80% for this assignment, 95% for my second test, and so forth, so that it gives you an average of about 90%. Also, you need to take into consideration how much your tests, exams, and assignments contribute to your final mark. So in this way, you will be able to tell whether you are achieving your goal or not by looking at the results you are getting, instead of waiting up until the end of the semester or the end of the term. Moving on to A, which is achievable or attainable. How can this goal be accomplished? What actions can I take in order for me to achieve this goal? That is what you should be asking yourself. So this is one of the most important steps when you are setting your goal. Because a goal is just a dream when it doesn't have an action attached to it. And a lot of people fail at execution. So your actions can be attending your classes, reading your notes, revising, doing past papers, being consistent when it comes to studying, setting your timetable, and so forth. And when it comes to your actions, don't just say studying, reading, or attending classes. Be specific as to what exactly are you studying. And this is where the study timetables come into play, your notes making come into play. When are you going to be completing your assignments? When and how are you going to be preparing to write your exams? So you need to have an action plan. Moving on to R, which is relevant. You need to ask yourself, why is it important for me to be achieving this goal? Is this worthwhile? This plays a key role when it comes to motivation. It's easy to lose motivation if you are doing something not knowing why you are doing it and why is it important to you. So ask yourself, why is it so important for you to achieve a 90% in life sciences? Either you want to qualify to a medical school, you want to be top of your class, or you need to get that bursary. It has to be a reason good enough for you to keep pushing during hard times. And when you set your goal, you need to make sure that you are realistic. This is also so important because most of the time you fail at achieving your goal because you were not being realistic about it. If you are a person, for example, who is scoring around 40% in biology, but now you are aiming for 90% at the end of the term, which is probably 4 weeks away, you are not realistic in terms of you are not giving yourself enough time to achieve your goal. And number two, the gap between where you are and where you want to be is so huge. Even though it might not be entirely impossible for you to achieve your goal, but you always have to take into consideration your context or the situation you are currently in. So if maybe you are saying you want to score 90% in biology at the end of the year, currently you are at 40%. You were going to be able to improve from 40 to 60, from 60 to 70, 70 to 80, and then at the end of the year, you're going to make it to 90. But from jumping from 40 to 90, which is 50% within a period of 4 weeks or within a period of 2 months, it's quite a bit unrealistic. So every time you are setting your goal, firstly you have to assess, where are you currently? How are you currently performing? And then number two, you need to think about all the things that are happening around you. For example, you might not be doing only one course or only one subject. There might be other courses as well that you are aiming to get the 94. So it means that you will have divided attention. So moving on to T, which is time bound. Every time you set your goal, there should be a time limit attached to it. You need to set a deadline as to by when you would like to accomplish your goal. In our example, we've said at the end of the term or at the end of the semester, but you need to know how many weeks away is that. In that way, you'll be able to tell how consistent you should be, and this will help you when it comes to your discipline. And for me, when I set my academic goals, I try to give myself enough time, but not a long time. Because if I'm gonna set a goal that I want to achieve 6 months from now, I can feel like I have the freedom to relax for the first 3 months, and then the last 3 months I start working like crazy. So in order for you to avoid that, don't set your deadlines too far away. Try maybe to have monthly goals that can add up to your big goal.